Hey guys, this is Jordan White. This is my video quiz over chapters 2, 3, and 9. Chapters 2, 3, and 9 mainly talk about how to the things we should and should not do in a speech. Chapter 2 mainly talks about having confidence in ourselves. When we have confidence in ourselves, our audience is going to better listen to us and going to better understand what we're saying. To have confidence, we need to practice what we're going to say, and we just need to show that we're confident in it. Another thing that we can do to be confident is to visualize success. Before we give our speech, we need to visualize ourselves giving the speech and effectively communicating it. When we do this, it'll show it to us. It'll be like, hey, I can do this, and this will effectively be able to have confidence in our speech. Another thing is we need to assess our anxiety before we get up there. We need to calm ourselves down to know that, hey, everybody else has to do this. This is part of it. And so we need to calm down and just know that it's not a big deal. Another thing that chapter 2 talks a lot about is academic dishonesty. Academic dishonesty is where we don't, say for example, if we're struggling with our speech or whatever, and we have someone write an intro for us, that'd be academic dishonesty. That is a no-go, as it is not our work, and we can get in serious trouble for it. Another thing it talks about is citing the sources that are not common knowledge. So an example for common knowledge would be like Tennessee is in the United States. That's common knowledge, right? But if you start pulling out statistics and stuff like that, that would be something that's considered not common knowledge. So you need to cite your source. Chapter 3 talks about knowing our audience. To know our audience, we need to know that they're diverse. Not all audiences are going to be the same people all the way across. You're going to have different races, different genders, just different types of people of different ages. So some of the barriers that we have some of the barriers to effective intercultural communication are ethocentrism, and that's a belief that one's group is superior to other. So there's some people that believe that their groups are better than others, and so we need to be able to talk with these people and be able to relate so that they're also whatever we're trying to communicate can also get across to them. Another thing is prejudices, which is a preconceived judgment about a group of people, and prejudices are one of the hardest things to get out of people, but it's something that we have to strive to do. Another thing is stereotyping, which is assuming common characteristics for a group of people. People also stereotype. They'll see, hey, she's a blonde, she's not very smart. I mean, that's a stereotype, and so we have to be able to effectively eliminate that from our speech so that people will try not to think of that way. Chapter 9 talks about when we deliver our speech, how we should deliver it. One of the big things it talks about is volume. Whenever we talk, we need to have a good volume. We don't need to be too high. We also need to be too low. We need to be just at the right volume. We also need to talk at the effective pace. You don't want to go too fast, but you also don't want to go too slow. Pauses are not a bad thing to have in a speech. If you can effectively deliver a pause, that can be one of the most important things in your speech. Another thing is whenever we're doing it, we need to pronounce our words. We don't need to be able to have the audience not be able to understand. We need to also be able to enunciate words, and so we need to be able to them understand us. If they can't understand us, this is going to lead the audience to get confused, and we don't want the audience to get confused because our ultimate point of it is to tell them what we're saying, and so that they can understand it and take away from it. Another important thing that can be just as important as what we say is body language. Body language is one of the most important things in a whole speech. If you don't stand up there, for example, say if you're if you're not standing up straight and you're just kind of sagging down, people are not going to take you seriously. I mean, you're going to take someone serious that's standing straight up, it's making eye contact with people, because then they're going to be like, hey, this man's confident in what they're saying, and that's what you want. You want to be confident. So ultimately, we want our body language to be good, because this is one of the most important things in our speech. All in all, chapters 2, 3, 9 effectively teach us how to be confident in ourselves, how to get the point across, and how to do stuff that will not get us in trouble, as it needs to be our own work that we come up with. And also helps us to be able to communicate with our speakers better. Overall, thank you for listening to my video quiz.